Hi guys, Daniel from the Scaly Bastard here, and I'm recording a video in response to Vince's topic of the week for this week, which was asking what we do in regards to whether we repaint existing models or whether we just keep them as they are. So my personal opinion, or my personal practice I suppose, is that on the whole I will repaint models unless they have some sort of significance or special place. This is largely because I have limited funds to put towards hobbying, and any models that I've kept from that long ago that they need to be repainted, I've probably kept them because they hold a bit of a special place in my heart, so I don't want to simply discard them and buy new ones. Notwithstanding the fact that most of the models that I have right now that I would repaint would be out of print models, out of print Lizardmen for the most part. So I'll just show a few examples of this. This first one shows a bunch of models which I have completely stripped because basically the paint on them was rubbish. It was either very thick or crappy paint because they were done when I was pretty young, and rather than splurging out to buy new ones and just have these ones sitting in a dung heap somewhere, I figured I might as well strip them. On a side note, if anyone wants help stripping paint from models, plastic ones or metal alike, Windex is very, very good. I basically had a bunch of plastic and metal models sitting in a tub of Windex for a week, and then I was able to scrub it off with an old toothbrush, and this didn't damage the plastic models at all, but the paint pretty much came away from everywhere except the very deepest crevices. So there's a hot tip for you people wanting to strip your models. So that's the biggest level of repainting that I do, which is, like I said, full strip back. The next level is touch up, and there's very few models I have that I would do this to. This one is an old salamander that I have, and I would do a touch up repaint pretty much on models where I like the paint job good enough and it just needs to come up to a slightly higher standard to meet whatever the current models I have are. So this one is not touched up, and I would probably just even out some of the highlighting or increase it a little bit, and perhaps use a wash in some of the darker areas just to get that shading a little better. But on the whole, I'm fairly happy with it, and yeah, we'll just make some minor alterations. And this current model here, if any of you have watched the very first video I posted up, is my Slan Mage Priest, and he is my pride. The paint job, I mean, it's an alright paint job. The Mr. Frog is fairly good. The paint's not thinned very well. Again, it's from quite a few years ago. But the time and effort I put into painting this, particularly at that time in my hobby life, was very significant, and painting this model to this standard was quite an achievement for me. So on this model, I would touch up some of the backing areas, like his seat and his feathers and things, because they're not even complete in a lot of places. But Mr. Froggy there, I wouldn't touch in a million years. I might just bring up another couple of examples of where it varies. This first one here, Chaos Warrior from years ago, Warrior of Slanesh, rebased for Age of Sigmar. Obviously I haven't finished the base, it's just stuck on there. But the paint job is reasonable, and I think I could simply do touch-ups to bring it up to a level that's good enough to match up with the rest of my army. Probably the biggest part would be repainting his body. I think the shield I've done pretty well. And then another example of a model that I wouldn't touch in a million years. These are my old metal demonettes, and the best ones they've ever made. And apart from the fact that they're pretty rare to get a hold of, so I wouldn't want to touch them and damage them, but I'm very happy with the way the paint job turned out. And the gloss varnish was actually a test that I was doing. I was going to gloss varnish them and then matte varnish over the top, but I liked the look of the gloss varnish on this demon so much that I left it. Alright, I might leave it there, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I await other responses to the topic and look forward to the topic for next week. Cheers.
How long? Not long, 'cause what you reap is what you sow.